Ishod Wair is one of the most talented and stylish skateboarders on this planet right now. He's most likely your favorite skater's favorite skater. But if I'm very honest, when I heard he was getting a Nike SB shoe, I wasn't really feeling them at all. It's just not my style of skate shoe. But I have recently just got my hands on the new premium Ishod Wair Nike SB. So this is an upgraded version of his first shoe drop. And as you can see, it's in all white, which is one of my favorite colorways in shoes. So there's already a lot of reviews going around about his shoe. I'm not going to go into too much depth of that, but what I will say is with the premium shoes, it's been upgraded to have leather around the back quarter here. So instead of having the suede, it's upgraded to leather, I guess your heel flipping area. And instead of having the hollow parts where the swoosh and the reverse swoosh is, that's actually been embroidered in there. So it's an extra bit of protection there, I guess, on your heel. It's a bit more thick there. But other than that, I can't really see any other upgrades besides this tag on the outside of the tongue. That's usually something that's on the inside of your t-shirt or something. So this is part of the series that are the premium range. So there's the Shane O'Neill shoe that has a premium one. The Nike Blazer mids have the same designs. It's kind of inside out and it has the tag out like this. So it's part of a bigger series that Nike have done. So apart from that, the things that I like is the breathable mesh panel here. You should get a lot of air venting through your shoes. It's getting into summer here in Australia, so this shoe should be nice and cool, keep my feet cool as I'm skating with that breathability there. And then the insole looks really crazy. It's the Bruin React insole. So they use that in another shoe. It's so thick and it feels like really comfortable. And then other than that, the shoe itself doesn't really have much more protection on the sole because it's supposed to have a lot of board feel here. Like if you can see those grooves, it's really moldable and it's supposed to break in easy and just have a lot more board feel. So I'm interested to see how that actually feels when you're skating these. And as you can see, Ishod Wair is a massive basketball fan and he's modeled this after the 90s era basketball shoes. So that's why like the shoe doesn't look bad, but it's just not, it wasn't my style. But I was lucky enough to get my hands on a pair of these, especially the premium ones in all white, so I'm hyped on these ones. So the main things I'm going to be testing is obviously the board feel because that sole is super interesting. How my flip tricks go because there's heaps of rubber up the side of this. I feel like this is going to give me super good heel flips, or it could just be too grippy and my board wouldn't flip at all. But all of the rubber along the side here looks like these are going to be really good for flip tricks. I'm going to have to test the impact support of these shoes because like I said about the sole, it's very interesting, and having the thick heel support there, it should be good for jumping down things. Usually when I do a shoe review, I get them straight out of the box and I wear them in that day and try and skate in them and see how they feel initially out of the box. But I'm going to come clean and say I did wear these yesterday already, and around this part of the foot felt really tight, but I have noticed that there's little eyelets on the inside to protect your laces from ripping here, but I might use them so then the outside panel isn't getting pushed in any tighter. But that should feel a lot more comfortable once I loosen that up. But other than that, the shoe itself felt really comfortable. I only wore them for like 1 or 2 hours, but that was only walking around in them. I need to go and find out how they skate and how they feel after a skate session. So let's head to the skate park right now. It's super windy out here today, so I'm gonna come talk in my car, but these shoes were feeling so good during that whole warm-up until I just tried that first kickflip, landed primo, and now the middle of my right foot is so sore. I think the heel support is gonna be good when you're jumping down stuff and impact support, but the rest of this sole, the insole, is really thin. I just felt the full force of my board going straight up into the middle of my foot, and it's killing me right now. So yeah, that's a worry, but I'm gonna get to the flip tricks later on in the video, but they are really feeling good. They're comfortable because I laced them on the inside of the inner eyelets. It's not squeezing my foot like it was when I wore them the other day. So if you guys have that trouble where it's squeezing your foot and feeling really tight, just use the eyelets in the middle. So I'm nice and warmed up. I'm going to keep skating like the rails and the ledges and stuff around here, just get a bit more tricks done so I can comment on how the board feel is with these shoes, but I'm worried about getting to the flip tricks later. But let's hit some rails and ledges first. That's the way to come at it. Look at the state of these after only one session. That's about 4 or 5 hours of skating right there, and these things are absolutely trash. But that's nothing to do with the shoe. I knew that would happen with all white shoes, but I still think they look pretty good. So overall, after the test that I've done, the board feel was really good, but it took me a while to get used to that because I'm coming from riding the GT Blazers. So I couldn't feel the board in places that I usually would, but it didn't take too long to get used to that. That first crooked grind that I tried on the ledge and I overshot it and then just slammed on the ground, I ollied the same way as I would have wearing the GT Blazers, but then it's a different profile, different toe, different grip, everything's just different about it. So it took me probably the first hour to get used to skating these shoes and get my board feel right, which sounds bad, but it's a completely different shoe, so it just took me time to get used to it. I don't think that's a bad thing on the shoes. They were so much more comfortable doing the laces up on the hidden eyelets on the inside because, like I said, my theory was right. It wasn't pulling it in even tighter because it was on the outside, so that gave my foot a little bit more room, and that didn't hurt for the rest of the day after that. So I think I solved that problem by using the inside eyelets. The shoe felt really good with flip tricks. All of the rubber, there's a lot of grip, so it grabs your board and flicks really well. So it is a little bit worn in there, more than I would have expected for one session, but I don't know how that's going to hold out for the next few sessions, but it felt really good doing flip tricks in these. But the biggest downfall, the biggest negative, probably the only negative, and I've saved this one for last, is the insole absolutely sucks. So jumping down the stairs at the end, I only jumped down, I think it was a 6 stair at the end. That was the biggest stairs that they had there, and my feet didn't hurt from that because I landed on my board, and the insole on the heel is so thick and supportive. My heels didn't get sore the whole time I was skating. But when I got pre-mode on the first kickflip I tried, it just chopped straight into the middle of my foot, hurt so much, and it was hurting the whole rest of the session. And then after I did the crooked grind on the long box and I tried to do a switch heel on the bank, pre-mode again, and it hurt both feet. So these suck for protection in the middle of your foot. So I feel like they focused way too much on the protection of the heel here, and then they didn't do anything for the rest of it. That's so much thinner here than it is for the heel, and I could feel that with every single trick I did. But I didn't get that problem wearing the GT Blazers at all, and that never became sore. So to have these on the first session, for it to be hurting me when I'm landing primo, or even the balls of my feet to be hurting if I'm landing too heavy on the ground, that's not a good sign for the first session of these shoes. So keep that in mind if you are looking to buy these shoes. But everything else I'd say was really good. Like, I've grown to like the look of them now. The board feels good now that I got used to it. The flick's really good. So everything besides the foot support is just pretty good for these shoes. So if you like these shoes, you haven't tried them yet, you can find them somewhere for a price that you like, in a colorway that you like. These are going to be really good shoes. But like I said, my biggest concern is going to be with the insole. Your heel's going to be protected, but every other bit of your foot, it just hurts when you land primo or try and jump down something and you land on the ball of your feet. So keep that in mind for sure. So if you enjoyed this video, check out the GT Blazer review I did. I love those shoes. I've got like 7 pairs of them now. I'm going to keep skating in these until they're dead, but my GT Blazers are going to be the main shoe moving forward from now. So let me know if there's any other shoes you want to see me review, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.